It looks like Jake Paul's pro boxing career may have started in full. The problem child scored a first-round knockout of Andre August to get everything back on track, but it's safe to assume he's still a long way from championship belts.
That's insane. Saying it all week, saying it in my meditations, visualizing it, and then making it come into fruition. And it's surreal, man. I'm trying to just take in the whole entire moment and look back on and have fun during this whole entire experience.
The crux of the experience was that Andre was his most experienced opponent to date. At least that's what he was supposed to be.
Look, you know, the biggest criticisms are fight a real boxer, fight someone with more experience with you, fight a real fighter, you know, all of these things. And it's time to answer that.
It's true that August was a professional boxer, unlike 7 of Paul's 8 previous opponents. But he'd still only had 12 fights with 10 wins and 5 KOs. Plus, it was just his second fight in 4 years. August knew exactly why he'd been picked.
I don't do all that talking like that. So I appreciate you for having me here, man. I appreciate it, you know, at the same time. But yeah, you're in the way, and at the same time, I just ain't got time for all that talking like that.
After losing by decision, Paul was under pressure to perform, so it wouldn't have surprised anyone if he was more patient. Instead, his instincts impressed everyone in what could have been his best performance yet.
He kept on ducking low, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna throw the uppercut, but I gotta make sure he keeps on ducking low. Assessed him, set him up for it, and finished it. Threw that thing hard.
In the co-main, former undisputed women's super middleweight champ Franchon Crews-Dezurn upset Shadaisha Green to regain the WBC title. Her unanimous decision sets up a possible rematch with the injured Savannah Marshall, who took her belts. Going into the bout, the 34-year-old Green was the heavy favorite to win her first world title. Crews-Dezurn dropped her titles when Marshall came up in weight to outpoint the now 36-year-old, which led many to speculate about her future as a top prospect. Crews-Dezurn, however, showed no sign of slowing down. The former champ outwitted the heavy hitter with crafty infighting and smothering to nullify her longer opponent's power and range. Before the bout, Franchon had called out several fighters, including the undisputed junior middleweight champion Claressa Shields, who beat Franchon in Claressa's first pro bout. But there's a more pressing fight on the horizon. I want to go over to the UK and run it back with Savannah Marshall, and it should be the fight that happens next. Marshall is the current undisputed super middleweight champion, thanks to her majority decision win over Crews-Dezurn in July. But she is recovering from a hand operation, thanks to an injury suffered in that fight. Marshall says she should be ready for the rematch in March or April of 2024, though. So expect that bout to be announced in the coming weeks. And in other championship results, Jesse Rodriguez bludgeoned Sonny Edwards for 9 rounds to unify the WBO and IBF flyweight titles.
Thanks for watching. And remember, if you want more fight sports in your life, just hit the subscribe button.